as I had said earlier, my name is Esther Matthew, and I'm a health practitioner. I'm a nurse by profession. So I'll be teaching you how to make soya milk from the soya bean commonly bought in the market, the soya beans that you buy in the market. So I'll be teaching you how to make soya milk from them, how to make yogurt from the milk that you obtain from the beans, how to make cheese, and how to make mayonnaise, and how also yogurt, cheese, milk, and also mayonnaise. Okay, so if you have any question, just ask, and if there's a point or there's a step you didn't understand, just tell me and I will repeat it. Okay, so yeah, I'll be Nelson here, chef. He'll be assisting me with all this thing. And also, I know it's going to be a good session because you're going to taste the milk. For other products, you might not be able to taste them, but if you go back to your homes and you prepare for yourself, you feel like they are good products. I have tasted and I have done a lot of research, and also I have worked on them, and I know that they're good products. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to we have our beans here. These are the normal beans you buy in the market. So you buy them in the market, because they're hard, you soak them for like an overnight. You soak them with boiling water. So unachemsha maji, alafu ikianza kuchemka unaiweka kwa maharagwe yako. Inalala the whole night. And then the next morning you wash them venye unataka, ama the time venye unataka to prepare your milk, you wash them mpaka you feel like zimekuwa safi. Sawa. And then after that, you take your beans, uzieke kwa blender, then you blend them, and then you will sieve with this one so that you can remain with the remain with the pulp, and also the milk. You separate the milk and you separate the pulp. Okay? So we are going to do it practically so that you can see it. So because here we don't have a tap to wash our hands, so because he'll be the one to touch the beans and to put them in the blender and everything, he'll be wearing gloves. These are the prepared gloves and also the latex gloves, so that we don't contaminate our milk. Okay? Yeah. So as he done in his gloves, so I'm going to teach you about the kitchen. So when you're in the kitchen area, it's a place that you're supposed to maintain sterility, like it's supposed to be a very clean place. Okay? The material that you're using, they should be clean, washed and rinsed well. And then also for your body, in the kitchen you're not supposed to go with the so-called stick-ons in the kitchen and the long nails, because they're the ones, the germs huwa zinakaa kwa makucha refu, zinajificha hapo. So the moment utakuwa tu unakula bacteria and utapata a lot of things. So your hair should be not below you should not touch your shoulder. So if you have a long hair, you tie it in a bun. If it's like this mine, and if you can't tie it in a bun, wear a hairnet, because they are hairnets, ama ujifunge kitambaa vizuri. Sawa. And then for you should not touch your ears, you should not touch your nose, just make sure that your hands are just touching the food stuff you're making and not your body parts, okay? Because our body parts, they carry a lot of germs. Okay? Yeah, so make sure that you do everything. So you take 1 cup. If you measure beans, 1 cup of beans, you're supposed to put water 1.5. Okay? if you blend and you feel like, okay, if you feel like your milk is too thick, so we have our sieve here. This is the one that we use to separate our milk and also the pulp. So unaeka the blended stuff yenye ukiblend your maragwe unaeka kwa hii sieve, itasaidia ku separate the milk and the beans remains. Unafinya inatoa. Unafanya kabisa mpaka unaona maziwa yako imeisha, kwa una feel mpaka hiyo maziwa imeisha yote yenye iko, maziwa yenye iko hapo ndani. Ukifinya una make sure yote imeisha, ndio ubaki na maziwa mengi kwa product mingi, kwa maziwa mingi itoke. So as umeona hatujeka glucose kwa hii maziwa yenye tumeweka. But glucose, it's a good product, it's a good thing kuweka kwa your milk, because first inasaidianga kutoa oxygen mingi kwa maragwe, so hautakuwa na hiyo bloating kunywa maziwa. And also inasaidianga kutoa that taste ya the bean taste in the milk. So the moment umeweka glucose, unafaa upime according to your beans zenye umekuwa nazo. So juu hapa hatujaweka, nataka you feel difference between maziwa yenye iko na glucose na yenye haina glucose. So hii unaweka, so the next yenye blend tutaweka glucose, because pia glucose inafanyanga milk ikuwe thick. Compared to this, ukiona hii maziwa haitakuwa thicker compared to yenye imewekwa glucose. So tutafanya pia so that you can see.
Naona inakaa maziwa. Ndio.
hizi remains zenye zimebaki hapa unaweza ziweka vizuri kwa zinaweza tumika kubake ama unaweza fanya a lot of things na hizi vitu zenye umetupa. So unaweza tupa ama unaweza weka utumie zitumike ku make cake ama kitu kama bread or kitu kama hizo juu inakaa ni kitu kama unga hivi. Sisi so tunataka tuchemshe maziwa, then you test mfeel venye iko, alafu then ingine yenye blend tutaweka glucose so that pia muone the difference between maziwa yenye iko na glucose na yenye haina glucose. So hii maziwa ukiweka hivi unafaa you set your time, like it's supposed to take 15 minutes so that ni maharagwe yenye maharagwe yenye ni mbichi, so you are supposed to make sure that hii maziwa imechemka kabisa, because kama haijachemka utakuwa ni kama unakunywa maharagwe yenye haijaiva. So it's supposed to take 15 minutes to boil. So na ikiboil unafaa ukoroge ndo isishikane huku chini. Tuko pamoja? Mpaka hapo nani ako na swali?
Any question?
The thing that you listen to say,
hizi zenye tunatumia because of the nutrition of water, unaweza pata huko hardware, then unaweza tumia kitu yoyote, hata kishungi unaweza tumia, lakini unafinya
kwa hiyo kwa kichungi, alafu sasa unafinya make sure imetoa maziwa yote. But pia hii unaweza ipata tu kwa market, iko
kwa market,
kwa sababu kwa hardware. He bought them with the hardware.
So unaitisha nini kama
the bag for filtration. Actually, it's commonly known for filtration. So you just say you want a bag that for filtration. Nani atatuangalizia time for 15 minutes? Okay, compare nishaipika chai nayo, but for me ni prefer kukunywa ikiwa maziwa. Unaweka sukari na unaweka majani ama unaweka coffee. But pia tea unaweza tengeneza, it's sweet kwa sawa, ina difference. But okay, depending with the way I made it, I prefer it to be kunywa ikiwa maziwa peke yake. Kunywa maji, ukiweka maji inakuwa over diluted. Unafaa kutumia kichungi hapa. Hii maziwa is very thick, so the moment inachemka huwa inapanda juu haraka. But ukitumia ukiweka kichungi hivyo huwa inafanya inarudi chini, like just the normal milk venye mnaekanga tu kichungi ndo you save like this, unaskim hivi ndo maziwa isipande juu imwagike juu tena. It's very inachemkanga haraka sana na tena huwa inapanda haraka sana, sawa? So you use your sieve, unaifanya tu hivi ndo isipande sana imwagike. Okay, it's not necessarily end 15 minutes, you can do 10 to 15, okay? Unaweza fanya 10 to 15 minutes, still itakuwa imeiva.
Kuna mtu hapa na swali? Ama mko sawa?
Maybe unaweza cost ya beans.
1 kg is 150. Yes, I.
Na hiyo bag?
Kabag. Kabag Hizi tulikuwa tumeletewa na Bosco. Tunamuuliza bei, si ndio? Tunaulizia. Si unaweza tumia mpaka
Ile kichungi.
kichungi.
But it's a lot of work. Because there's no water kwa kichungi and then ikifilter then ufinye. You see like your muscles zitakuwa zina ache afterwards.
Ama kakitu ya nywele. Ile inaitwa aje? Canet. Sio, sio pia inaweza squeeze. Sio.
Okay, jaribu the net that's
I think it can work.
the carrier bag.
Ama carrier bag. I think
Inaweza.
sitatoa maji, si ni maziwa tu nataka ku
Ita separate.
separate.
I think our milk is ready. So nitaitoa ipoe and then nitawaonjesha kidogo.
Maybe mnajua kwa benefits za soy milk.
Okay. Health benefits zake. Okay. The benefits zenye these have, okay, the kenye nimeona about this milk, it contains high, like a lot of proteins compared to the normal milk. Yeah, and also it's better compared to the for the people who are allergic to animal milk, like the cow milk. They can consume this one because it doesn't contain any animal products. This is just plants, so they can consume it. The benefit of the good thing about this milk, it's only that it contains high proteins mainly compared to the normal milk.
Nataka msikie difference ya ikiwa na glucose na bila glucose. Sio? Kapaje? Kalaka.
So acha niweke sukari alafu msikie, sawa? But hiyo taste yenye unasikia, so ukiweka glucose, I was just trying to show you the importance of adding glucose to the milk. Hiyo taste yenye unasikia, hiyo ya the bean taste, ama hiyo harufu ya bosho, inaishanga ukiweka glucose, because glucose it's an oxidase, so inatoanga hiyo oxygen na inatoa hiyo glucose.
Kuna difference. Kapaje sasa? Kapati.
Yeah, so that's how we prepare it. But sasa nataka muonje yenye iko na glucose. Niko na glucose haina hiyo that taste kenye mnasikia huko nyuma kama maharagwe. So ukiweka glucose huwa inaisha. So it's very sweet item yenye iko na glucose. Sawa? And so the purpose of the glucose ni tumesema ni kutoa oxygen, so hauta bloat. Na tena pia hii haiwezi kupea bloating cause ushachemsha vizuri. Sawa? Na tena inakupea hiyo taste nzuri, na tena inafanya maziwa inakuwa thicker. So hii ni maziwa poa, but sasa hii itakuwa thicker than this one. Haya, tutatest tu zote. Nani anataka kunywa? maziwa mzuri by the way. We have been drinking it like for 1 week before ndo tukuje to present here. Hatuwezi wapea kitu yenye we know like iko na effect. So it's a very good, haiwezi wa affect ama anything. Okay, maybe if you have health issues. But it's a very good milk. Haya. So the milk yenye tumetengeneza ndo itatumika ku make the yogurt, ku make cheese na ku make mayonnaise na ku make mayonnaise, cheese na yogurt na sasa maziwa tuko nayo na pia ndo inatumika ku bake cake. Instead of using eggs we use milk. So hii maziwa bado itatumika kwenda ku bake cake. Sawa. Chama zetu chemke, muanze tena.
Kwa vizuri inaweza kujeka hizo diseases like brucellosis, TB, anthrax.
That is maziwa ya ng'ombe. Ama ya mbuzi.
Maziwa ya ng'ombe, mbuzi,
ngamia. So hiyo ukikosa kuchemsha vizuri na if the animal yenye ulileta hiyo maziwa ilikuwa sick, italeta hiyo like utakuwa mgonjwa because the drugs when when umekunywa drugs in our bodies, drugs are excreted through urine, stool na milk. That's the reason that the breastfeeding mother sometimes wanaambiwa usitake this drug because na unanyonyesha mtoto kwa hiyo drug itatoka kwa mama ingie kwa mtoto. Sawa. So that is why we prefer this milk because haitoki kwa wanyama, inatoka kwa plants. Sawa. It's imetengenezwa vizuri. Another thing we have realized that the animals that we have here nowadays zina injectiwa antibiotics so that zikue. Sasa kuku ni it's a very young chicken, so unapata kakuku like kakona 6 months ama hiyo time ina take kuku 6 weeks like, lakini ni nono. Unaenda uko nje pale wanahang kuku, so unasema unataka venye imenona na imedungwa hizo dawa. So ukikula hiyo kuku yenye imedungwa hizo dawa ama ukunywe maziwa ya ng'ombe yenye imedungwa ndio iongeze the amount of milk yenye ina produce, utakunywa na imedungwa antibiotics, so in your body unakuwa na antibiotic resistance. So when you have infections you come to the hospital, tunawapea antibiotics, unapata hazifanyi kazi, unashangaa what happened. So that is the reason why that's why like say tuna campaign about using the plant-based milk because nowadays people are just after money. They wanafanya vitu wana intervene with the things that zenye si kitu yenye ni real. Sawa. So that's why for your health and also for your body tuna campaign about using the plant-based daily. Okay?
Last one. How many? 15 minutes I can say. Mother.
Alafu maziwa inakuanga haraka. Huwa inakuwa haraka sana. Iko na difference. Yeah? Ama hamjafeel? Umefeel different? Umefeel the difference? Yeah. Ya kwanza ilikuwa aje? Iko na after so the purpose of the glucose inapanga hiyo the taste of the hiyo after taste ya beans na hiyo ingine na okay, sawa, acha tuweke sukari then usikie. So unawezeka coffee, unawezeka cinnamon, unawezeka hizo tea bags majani ya chai yenye tu wewe mwenyewe unafeel unataka. Unaweka hiyo favorite sweetener ya chai yenye unafeel unataka ama yenye unapenda. Lazima upike kwanza, si ndio? Alafu kande. So lazima uichemshe ndio ive because hii ni maharagwe yenye haijaiva. Ama ukikunywa yenye ni mbichi kama kunyonga maziwa ya ng'ombe utafura tumbo. Sawa. So this is hiyo ndo maziwa, that's how you make it. Anyone with any question? Any question? Sali hata. Anyone anataka nirudie procedure ya ku make the milk? Okay, ni sawa. So the next tunaweza make mayonnaise na tuta make yogurt. Okay, so umesema tuanze na yogurt. Haya, nitamix hizi maziwa zetu kwa zote ni maziwa tu ya maragwa, haina shida. And then ndo sasa we make our yogurt. Sawa. So this is the yogurt we made yesterday na the group yenye ilikuwa huku jana. Tukamake yogurt and imekaa overnight na I guess it's not I guess it's true that this yogurt yetu iko ready. So kenye tu imebakisha ni kuwekwa sukari na the flavor yenye unataka. So we have the vanilla na tuko na chocolate. So unaikanga according to yenye unataka. Sawa. So si tutamake yetu and hatutaonja yetu because inatekingi sometimes ndo ifame. Sawa. So for the yogurt you need the cup yenye utatumia kuweka. You need the cornstarch ama corn flour. Kuna kwanga na potato flour any yenye. So the purpose of this inafanyanga yogurt ikuwe thick. Sawa. So tunaonanga like yogurt yenye unatoka kwa supermarket ama kwenye unabuy, inakwanga creamy na thick somehow. So this is the work of cornstarch ni hiyo. So unaikanga tu kijiko moja because ama half depending with the size ama the amount of the yogurt yenye una make. So the cornstarch, the only work it does is to thicken the yogurt. You don't want to kuweka mingi because itakaa kama ugali. You don't want to kuweka kidogo because your yogurt itakuwa inakaa maji. So like lazima tu make like upime vizuri. Sawa. So we need our starter. So for our starter here we have a natural yogurt. So the work of the starter is to produce the bacteria that bring about the fermentation of the yogurt. So starter hii yogurt contain bacteria zenye haziwezi kuaffect ukikunywa. They're like zinaitangwa normal floras. So hizo bacteria ndo zina bring about the fermentation. So zinaitwa starter. So it start the fermentation. So hatutatumia hii because this is natural yogurt but ni maziwa ya ng'ombe. Sawa, the one who bought it through mistake, but tuko na yenye tulikuwa tumetumia. So the starter tumesema ina introduce bacteria to the yogurt, ndo ina start the fermentation process. Sawa. So we have our pilipilis, these ones, the normal pilipilis zinapandwa na zinauzwa kwa market. So these ones unaweza weka ama unaweza kosa kuweka. The work of these, we actually don't put the body, tunaikanga tu the fruit, tunaikanga the stalk. Hii stalk inafanyanga huwa ina speed up the rate of fermentation. So inaharakisha fermentation ya yogurt yako. Sawa. So unaikanga the stalk and not this one. Hii unaweza pika nayo. And if kama unakulanga hivyo unakula, but this one ndo unaikanga kwa yogurt ina fast like it's the only thing we do is just to mix to hapa. We hauhitaji anything like a blender ama anything. You just need your products na your hands na in the gas. So maziwa tutamake tu this kikombe tu kama haka. Tuweke tu tupime hapo. Hii ndo maziwa yenye tutatumia ku make our yogurt. Have a thermometer, so tutatumia our hands to measure the temperature of this milk. So we use here, tunatumia hapa. Ningeweka mkono wangu kwa hivyo, but for now siwezi weka hivyo because hatuna maji ya kuoshea mkono hapa. But kama uko na thermometer, una make sure maziwa yako before uiweke cornstarch iko 40 ama to 50. Sawa. So maziwa yetu iko sawa 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. So unaweka, then unawasha moto. Moto inasaidianga because this is normal, ni kama unga. Sawa. Na corn ni mahindi, so ni kama unga ya mahindi. So tunaweka kijiko, but see not the normal unga yenye unabaingia kupika ugali. So the cornstarch unaweka 1 spoon tunaweka tu just amount kidogo.
Kuna mtu akona swali?
So unakoroga, una make sure the cornstarch imedissolve kwa milk, like una heat up to 90 degrees. So like isiboil, ukianza kuona ni kama inataka kuchemka, maziwa yako iko ready. So tuna mix the cornstarch. The probiotics zenye zinanunuliwa kwa chemist. Quantity, like okay, you can say kwa kikombe kama hii unaweza weka one probiotic moja. Then ukitoa, hatuwezi eka the starter kwa ikiwa moto hivi because iko 90 degrees. Hawezi eka ikiwa moto, so you just wait for it kupoa, because the moment umeweka ikiwa moto hivi, the bacteria zenye the starter, they will die na so your yogurt haita ferment. Sawa, so you just wait ipoe, like ifike 40 tena irudi tena 40, then then you can put your starter, because if you put it when it's hot, itafanya the bacteria in the starter zitakufa, but it won't ferment. Sawa, so tuingoje ipoe, yeah, as so we know about the others. So on this side, as we wait for milk, tuko na hizi the dried, because imekausha alafu they are stored. So we have these mangoes ya watu wenye walikuwa jana walitestisha wakasikia ni tamu, they ate almost like the whole thing. Alafu these is red bananas, the onions, the cabbage, the carrots, the potatoes and the tomatoes. Sawa, they are all zimetolewa maji alafu zinaekwa. Sawa, zikiekwa huwa zikitolewa maji, zikitolewa moisture hazitaharibika. So hizi unaweza store like for 1 year kwa nyumba yako tu ukitumia polepole. The only hours unaziweka kwa maji. Hizi vitu zitarudi kwa yeah. Potatoes unaweza tumia pia kupika chips. Like kama useme unataka kupika vitu ya vitunguu, ya nyanya, also your cabbage and maybe carrots. Then in the sema ulikuwa unaenda kazi, then lunch time unaweza kuja utapata zimerudi tu normal, unapika unakula. And they don't have any cause the bacteria they can survive in a dry area. So shida yoyote. So you will just eat them. So zikiwa hivi hakuna any bacteria inaweza survive hapa because they are dry. Sawa. Unaweza kausha na jua ama kuna zinakaushwa na zinatolewa hiyo moisture na a machine. Yeah, si tulipeleka town place kazi and then zikakaushwa. Okay? Then potatoes that zenye tulisoak ndio tuone zenye zitarudi. So bado time haijaisha kabisa, but unaona zinaanza kurudi kama normal waru. So that is how you do about this. It's very nice because hii uta conserve. Unaweza pata like the season yenye kuna cabbage mingi, unaenda unakausha unaweka. So then maybe the next season kutakuwa na cabbage zinauzwa expensive. Just zako zinunua at that time unapika. Sawa. Ama uko na pesa sasa you buy a lot of things. This inasaidianga to save because vitu mingi zinaharibikanga sana. Unanunua cabbage unapata like umekata au utakula by the time inafika kuonyesha imeharibika. The matunda ya hizi vitu they are very healthy. They are very healthy, ziko na nutrition. They are very nutritious. Ukikula zikiwa na maganda kaushwa compared to kukula ikiwa hivyo kwenye inakwanga ya yellow. Ya waru and also tomatoes. Okay? Hiyo ndio kazi ya hii. So unaweza onja hizi maembe and then you can feel how they taste.
For 2 hours inakuwa imerudi. Kama unaweka asubuhi, jioni na
I know the mangoes, they're the sweetest.
sasa inaweza kama kawaida. Ndio hapo tu. Sasa unachukua kidogo na samaki.
Na hata hizo banana zina last.
Bora ikuwe free from moisture.
So tunataka kutengeneza our yogurt. Tulikuwa tunangoja hii maziwa ipoe. And for now iko sawa. Ishapoa. After sex. Niwaambia venye wewe unaangalia kama imepoa. Imefika 40 degrees. So after that you put your starter. So we said since we're vegetarians we don't do animal products, so we are not going to use the normal yogurt, this one. So we will use yenye tulitengeneza jana. Hiyo yogurt tutawapea muonje ndio nilikuwa natengeneza hapa. For now this itakuwa starter yetu. Sawa. So for the starter in this cup tutaweka 2 spoons of this one. Juu hii ishakuwa fermented na iko na hizo bacteria. So it's already ilikuwa imekuwa probiotic. So here jana tulitengeneza na yogurt yenye ilikuwa imetengenezwa na passion. Like okay, passion it's ilikuwa imetengenezwa na passion. Flavor yake ilikuwa passion na ilikuwa mixture of a lot of vegetables that zimetengeneza hiyo yogurt and it was very sweet. So tukatumia kama starter yetu. So yogurt yenye tulitengeneza jana ndio tutatumia kama starter ya leo. Sawa. So every time you make your yogurt, make sure unaweka yenye bado unaacha kadogo yenye utatumia ya make the next yogurt to use it as your starter. To avoid kutumia the animal product. Yes?
Is there a problem if you mix the animal and
No, there is no problem, but we are vegetarians, we don't want to deal with the animal products. So for mine here, I'll put 2 spoons as my starter in this yogurt. Alafu then unaimix vizuri. ukiweka alafu uone ni kama haijathicken venye unataka, unaweza ongezea your starter, seme like a small amount, because starter haina any problem, it's just your yogurt una mix to, it's just introduction of the bacteria. So unaweza ongezea like a half spoon ama a full spoon according to venye unataka yogurt yako ukiweka ikue how. So hii sasa ndo today's yogurt. Tutaiweka kwa not kwa fridge, we will put it in an oven. So ya jana yenye tulitengeneza hatukuweka kwa oven cause ilikuwa inatumika, tuliweka tu at a room temperature, but tunairapingi na blanketi cause not everyone, okay, let's say like si kila mtu ako na oven kwake, so we use like the blanketi, unairap na blanketi alafu inaiweka in a warm place because the bacteria haisurvivingi in a cold place na haiwezi survive in a very hot place, so unaikanga at a room temperature because hiyo ndio place yenye inaweza survive. So unaiweka unaifunika kwa blanketi, unaiweka for sema kitu 8 hours, for 8 hours, and then so si ukiweka leo utakunywa kesho, so tomorrow unakuja unaiweka sukari na unaiweka sukari na tena unaongezea the flavor you want, unaweza ka vanilla ama unaweza weka chocolate. Sawa. So nataka muonje hii yogurt yenye tulitengeneza jana alafu msikie venye iko. To speed up the rate of fermentation, you add the pilipili stalks. So unaweza weka ama pia unaweza kosa kuweka, it's optional. Sawa, but we prefer to add because itafanya yogurt yako iferment haraka. So mimi napenda kuweka 4 kwa cup kama hii.
Kakao
So bado haikumaliza the process of fermentation. So kuna venye bado haijamaliza kutengenezeka. Sawa. But inakuanga very sweet. Umeifeel aje? Si mbaya. Thank you. Sasa, okay, the next thing yenye nataka to make it mayonnaise. Alafu for the cheese sita make leo because of time, because it takes a lot of time. So I'll just tell you the procedure how to make cheese, and also but for mayonnaise nitai make. Sawa. So mayonnaise, this is the mayonnaise I had made earlier the other day, on Friday, on Thursday. Nilikuwa nimetengeneza on Thursday, and inafaa ikae for 3 days. As you can see, hii yetu isha form. in the sasa, this is how mayonnaise inakaanga. Sawa, this is the mayonnaise. So the purpose of mayonnaise, okay, the mayonnaise kazi yake inakwanga unawezeka kwa mkate, unapaka, alafu unaitoast, because hawezi kula ikiwa hivyo because unaweza na tumbo, because it contains a lot of oil, na ni oil yenye si cooked, so itakufanya unaweza endesha pia. So the thing you can do ni unaiwekanga kwa food yenye, seme for example cabbage yenye una steam, unaweka seme like your 1 spoon, alafu una steam nayo, inapeanga that food a sweet taste, na tena inafanyanga nini food yako unakula mingi, inafanya ukule mingi. Sawa, pia kwa mkate unapaka kama 2 BB, you spread it on the bread, alafu unaitoast, mafuta inaiva, alafu unakula mkate yako ikiwa hivyo. Sawa, yeah. So hii ni mayonnaise yenye kuwa sawa. Alafu jana pia tulitengeneza hii group ya kwanza ikasema inataka a white mayonnaise. So bado hii haijamaliza kuform, kuna venye bado ina form. It takes 3 days. So nikikoroga hivi you can see like bado ni maji, but after 3 days inakuanga creamy hivyo. So the same case with this one, sitafungua. So unaweza tengeneza yenye ni white, unaweza tengeneza ya hii. So the only thing yenye unaongezanga ndio iko hivi, it's turmeric. Unaweka tu turmeric alafu inakuwa this color. But hii ingine ni yenye tujeka turmeric, so inakuwa a white mayonnaise. Sawa. The things we need when making mayonnaise. We need vinegar. You can use any. Sawa. Any of your choice yenye unataka. So we have our vinegar here. Hiyo ndio tutatumia kumake. We only put 2 spoons of vinegar. We have salt. So we prefer the Himalaya salt because inakwanga very strong and huta waste salt mingi. See kama compared to the canned salt, the normal white salt that you buy, hii ni very strong. Even to taste it, utasikia ni strong. Waje uambi. Very strong. Hii huwezi kula hivyo hivyo. Ni strong sana. So that is how you. Sasa hii ndio tunaekanga. So you just a pinch. So ukinunua chumvi kama hii kwako, it takes like unaweza tumia for like 1 year and kuendelea, because you just put a pinch kidogo tu na inaisha taste poa. Then we have oil, we have milk, and we have our mustard seeds. So hizi zote unapimanga tu. You take a half cup of milk, half cup of oil, you put 1 spoon of mustard seed, 2 spoons of vinegar, and a pinch of salt for taste, kuipea taste hiyo tamu. So then unaweza weka turmeric kama unaweza kosa. So tuweke turmeric kama tusiweke. Haya, so we have it here. Tutaweka hiyo turmeric yetu. Okay. And then yeah, hivyo. So and then unahitaji tuseme fork. So you mesh half cup of milk, right? Pia unafaa kuweka half cup. Mix. 1 spoon of mustard seeds. this unaweza weka a eighth because it's just ni color tu, yani kuweka the yellow color, so unaweka tu kidogo, si mingi. So I don't know the approximation, but unaweka tu kidogo. Alafu your salt una pinch tu, because hii ukiweka mingi yako itakuwa kali. So kama hii ni kali sana because niliweka mingi, niliweka chumvi mingi, I didn't know that ni very strong, so hiyo ukionja ni kali sana. Haya, so hizi vitu zote unaweza tumia a whisk kukoroga, ama unaweza tumia fork, but hizo zote utachoka sana mkono. So if you can get, so hii ndio sisi huwa tunatumia, mix, alafu inakuwa ikitoka hapo inakuanga iko ready hivyo tu. Kuziweka tu pamoja, alafu unazimix, zina form the So this is our mayonnaise. So ukiweka kwa fridge inafaa kutake 2 to 3 days. Ikiendelea inaendanga as ikithicken. Sawa. So the moment imekaa kwa fridge, siku ya mwisho tu itatokea ikiwa kama hii. Very even. Sawa. So that's how you make your mayonnaise. Nani ako na swali? Any question? Nataka nirudie kitu? Tuko sawa? So hizo ndio vitu zenye tu nita make leo, but nitawafunza nitawapea the procedure of how to make the cheese. Tulikuwa tumetengeneza this one because tunataka to save time because mnaenda kupikiwa keki. So hii ndio tulikuwa tumetengeneza cheese. Inafaa kuwekwa kwa fridge ama kwa freezer. So ndio maana ukitoa nje inaanza kumelt. Cheese inakaanga kama mafuta, ile mafuta ya solid. So unakata tu, inakanga kama hiyo mafuta. Sawa? So the procedure to make cheese, unahitaji a lot of things because you need lemon ama the citric acid, unahitaji vinegar. That's the reason to buy a lot of vinegar, because we thought to make cheese because ina consuming a lot of vinegar. Unahitaji lemon ama this citric acid, the baking powder, maziwa mingi because the size ya cheese yenye utamake depends with the amount of milk yenye utatumia. Sawa? So unaekanga maziwa yako kwa sufuria. Unafanya ni kama unaweka kwa moto. So ikikaa ni kama inataka kuchemka, like inaanza kuform the bubbles on the edge, that's ndio unaanzanga kusprinkle the vinegar. So ukisprinkle the vinegar inaanzanga kuform curds. Curds ni kama inaanza kunuka ni kama zimeharibika, inaanza kuseparate. You see like the water and the curds ziko zimeseparate. So unaona ni kama maji clear ndio ina boil. So that's when you know that your is ready. So unaiacha hapo, unaifunika for 2 minutes, alafu unarudi tena. You sieve. Unaweza tumia like carrier bag, unaweza tumia juu the curds ni vitu kubwa, unaweza tumia carrier bag, unaweza tumia the hairnet, this one. Unaweza tumia either, unaweza tumia hii the hairnet ama unaweza tumia carrier bag. Yeah, ama utumie kuna kitu kama kichungi. Pia kichungi unaweka alafu unafinya, una make sure maji yako yote imeisha. Juu ukiweka hapa maji ikipita, you squeeze. Ukisqueeze tu maji yote inatoka, unabaki na the curds peke yake. So the curds zenye zimebaki zinaitangwa tofu. Hiyo tofu ndio utatumia ku make cheese. So you take your tofu, unaiweka kwa blender, alafu unaweka 1 cup of milk because a half cup because huwezi blend if hauna kitu na tutaki kuweka maji. So unaweka a half cup of milk. So remember, ukiweka maziwa kumbuka kubakisha maziwa ya kublend. So unafaa uweke a half cup of milk hapa. So unaongezea unaweka mafuta kijiko moja, unaweka chumvi, a pinch ya chumvi kuipea hiyo taste. Chumvi inakuanga tu ya kuongezea taste kwa hiyo. Then una make the sodium citrate like this one. Una mix hizi. So utaweka 4 spoons. 4 spoons of water is to 1 spoon of citric acid. Unakoroga mpaka una make sure zimeform a clear liquid. Then this one, after you form a clear liquid, you add 1 spoon of baking powder kwa hiyo. Una make sure the bubbles zimeisha. Then una add kwa hiyo. You blend. Utabaki na something creamy, like something yenye tu unaona ni cream like. Hiyo cream ndio utaweka kwa sufuria yako hii. For example, nikimake hii nilitumia hizi sufuria mbili. Nikaweka kwa hii, kuweka kwa hii na nikaweka hii. So hii unaweka maji moto, usiweke mingi juu itamwagika kwa hiyo unaweka ndani ya hii. So unaweka maji sema ifike hapa. Then sisi umshamwagia your cream hapa. Unaiweka hapa ndani. So like hold, kuna sufuria holders unashikilia nayo ama unashika na kitambaa kenye tu unashikanga nayo. Then utachukua your mwiko, unachukua hii kamwiko ama any wooden stuff yenye uko nayo, ama unaweza tumia kijiko, but mostly tuna advise we use the wooden materials. So utakuwa tu unakoroga ndo isishikane huku chini. Unakoroga for the first few minutes, itaanza kukua ni kama inarudi kuwa kama maziwa. Like haitakuwa thick, haitakuwa cream. But when unaendelea within 15 minutes zikiisha, itakuwa a thick cream yenye ni thick kabisa. Unaimwaga kwa tin yako like this one, unaiweka kwa fridge. Sawa? Ukiweka kwa fridge for 1 day, by the time unakuja the next day itakuwa ishakuwa mawe. Sawa? That's how una make cheese. Tulikuwa tumetengeneza na inapendanga kuwekwa hata cold place. So sisi tumeiweka huku room temperature ikaanza kumelt. Sawa. Haya, so nani ako na swali? Question?
Any question? Comments?
Good job. Thank you.
Hiya. So, what we're going to do is the science of baking. First of all, before we get into the baking, yeah? My name is Joy. I'm one of the founders of MHub. We do innovation, clearly. And then, so I work with the finance department and research and development. So part of that is this here. I'm a baker part-time, so it's also an interesting part of my hustle. When you wanataka kuni join after, you're welcome. We make money there and we eat cake. So yeah. So, how many of you have ever baked? What have you baked?
Decoration.
Oh, decorations. Oh, I like that. Uh-huh.
Cake,
Uh-huh.
cookies.
Cookies, uh-huh. Anyone else? Kuna mtu ashawahi bake cake bila mayai, bila dairy? You have?
Yeah.
What did you use in place of them? If you did without milk, what did you use in place of milk or eggs?
Use water.
Water. Actually, you can use water. The only problem with that ni shelf life inapunguka, si ndio inaoza haraka. Anyone else attempted?
For eggs, there is flaxseed gel. The flaxseed
Yeah.
gel.
What did it taste like?
For me, it tasted better because the taste of eggs was not present.
You don't like the taste of eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. Sawa. No? Okay. So what we will do today is the science of baking and then the science of substitution, yeah? So ukianza kubake, as far as you know, what's the first step in baking? What's the first thing you mix? Or okay, what's the first thing you do, first of all? Or rather, what do you think you should do? The flour, but everything. Why?
Because you have to balance, or then you mix.
And also so you don't forget something. Yeah? Anyone else? What do you think you should do before baking?
Preheat your oven.
Yes. Mnaweza guess too, but there's no wrong answer. We're learning today. What else do you think we should do? A guy from this side, mmenyamaza sana. It's an interactive class. I'll still ask you questions. Kila mtu moja moja. What's your name? You. What do you think you should do before you start baking? Anything you think you should do? Anything. Even if it's something you think it's very small, what do you think you should do? Very smart. You have a recipe that you're following. Anyone else? Last one?
Make sure you
Yes. Kuosha mikono. That's very important because you have to have hygiene in food prep. So if you don't have running water, you have sindio. But the easiest one is keep washing your hands, especially as you're handling, because it's a bit messy. Utapata maunga zimemwagika, blue band, nini, all those things, yeah? So the first step unafaa kufanya, you measure all your ingredients. Hakuna kuguess, yeah? You have to have quantities in place so that keki yako itoke vizuri, si ndio? Number 2, before you start mixing, on a preheat oven. Start by the time you're putting the cake in the oven is at the temperature you want. ukisema maybe you want to bake at 180 degrees, if I turn on the oven at the point at which naweka keki, it won't be at 180 degrees, sindio? It will take time to come up to 180. So the easiest thing is as you begin to mix, you turn on the oven. It will show you ikifika, probably the thermostat is a click on off. The first step in mixing, what do you think it is? That's the last one, but good try. Anyone else? The milk. The liquid. The liquid. It depends with the recipe actually, because you can start liquid separate and the dry one separate. Anyone else?
Cream sugar.
That's the most common method, yes. Why do you do it? What's the science behind it?
We incorporate sukari, hizo grains.
The mix pamoja, sindio? So step one, kwa mostly butter, as a substitute for butter, because butter is dairy, which is an animal product, sindio? You can use Blue Band, you can use vegetable oil. So the reason why we start with to mix butter, Blue Band na the sugar, is because you're incorporating air into the mixture, sindio? The science behind that, sugar ni crystals, sindio? Iko na rough edges, right? And the butter is a fat, sindio? As you whisk it, you're incorporating air because you're pushing the sugar crystals into the fat, sindio? So you're creating air pockets inside the fat, sindio? So far tuko pamoja? So far, we're okay? When you incorporate air into the fat, right? You have those two pockets, small, minute pockets. You can't see them, definitely, sindio? Then you put that cake into the oven, right? What does hot air do what does air do when it's heated? It expands. So when it expands, what happens to your cake? Inafura, sindio? It rises. Basically, that's the beginning of the science of baking. You're creating air that when you put your cake into the oven, that will expand and then, number one. So that's the first step that we're going to start with. Okay, we'll start with the measuring, definitely. So, what we'll do, I want another volunteer. A guy this time. So we're going to go through each ingredient, right? Tunaenda through each one so that we can figure out what each one does. And if we are substituting, we are doing that step by step, sindio? So that we figure out what each does and then why we are changing it for this other thing, sindio? Because if you're creating a substitution, it has to be for a purpose, right? Yeah? So we want to make a lemon cake today without eggs, fully plant-based. So if you want to add flavor to a cake without maybe using an artificial flavor, you can use fruits, sindio? Which fruits do you think can be used to bake? Isipokuwa ndimu juu mnaiona. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, actually, pumpkin. And banana is really good because you can avoid the sugar altogether. So that's one substitute for both sugar and eggs, first of all. What else? Carrot. Carrot is a vegetable or a fruit. Even a pumpkin is a vegetable, you know. But you can still use them, for flavor and texture and hizo vitu zote. Another one? Yeah. Same way we're using, you grate the outer peel, right? And then you squeeze some juice unaweka ndani. Yeah. What other ideas? I'm still open to ideas. Baking is about creativity. Yeah. 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 You slice them up. Unaweka ndani. You can put cinnamon with them because they're in a balance. Yeah. You can use them to decorate the top of the cake before you bake, so that they bake like with the cake. Then I caramelize up on it. Yeah. That's okay. So you squeeze the juice off. Let's say one here. You use it with your knife. And you squeeze it. So once you grate a lemon, you squeeze the juice, you add to the mixture. Tukianza ku mix the sugar and the butter, right? What are substitutes that you know for sugar in baking? Maybe you have someone who is diabetic, maybe you have someone who is on a diet. What would you use in place of sugar? Anyone?
The only thing I've used before is honey.
That's one. Dates, bananas, things you have in your house. I feel like a lot of us don't bake because we think we don't have the ingredients, lakini ziko kwa nyumba, si ndio? You've definitely had bananas, you've had carrots, you've had all those things, si ndio? Yeah. So what we're doing here is adding some sugar. We'll do the this one for graphics. This is what we're doing in the beginning. That cream, you use that before? I can show you a picture. So, this can be done using a mwiko or, what do you call it? Mwiko or a whisk at home, right? So, when we started, this is the color of the so that's it. One person to come and step forward. Kidogo, you check something for me. Volunteer, come. If you compare the color of this and this, are they the same? So, from Bali, the yellow we've seen near the blue band and the yellow we have now, is it the same? Yes. It's the same? I'll forgive you because men are colorblind sometimes. So, why do you think the color is changing? Why do you think the color has started changing? Also, as the color is changing, is this the texture that we had the blue band? No, it's changed kidogo, sindio? It's becoming more like smoother, right? Fluffy. Why do you think that is happening? hint. I told you the reason why we start mixing like this.
Because you have introduced it.
Yes, because you have introduced air into the mixture. So it's becoming more fluffy, meaning the two are gelling together. Ideally, it's the fat and the sugars in a shikana, right? At the same time, we're incorporating air. We're pushing those two sugar crystals into the butter, right? So you can't see the difference between the two, but you can see the change in consistency. That is the most important step of baking, because ukienda kule mwisho, if you didn't do this right, that's why you might have a cake maybe imeshikana, maybe it's crumbling ukikata, you know, things like that. Maybe it looks a bit oily, all those things. So tunaenda step by step so that you understand the why behind, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, naendelea kidogo. As we do that, look at this. Mnaona tofauti? It's a completely different color, a completely different consistency. Even the volume has changed a bit, sindio? That's because, again, air has been incorporated into the mixture, and that's a foundation. Make a foundation kwanza before you start building, sindio? Hi. The thing that has gone around, what do you think it is? Yes. How do you make that gel? You just add chia seeds, kijiko moja, maji vijiko tatu, right? It makes a plant-based egg, basically. And at the same time, because chia seeds have a lot of protein, it serves the same purpose as an egg would, sindio? Also, again, chia seeds are a superfood. They have so much nutrition, right? You can incorporate them into baking, even if you're using eggs, sindio? Because again, they don't have a flavor at ile naribu, maybe the flavor of the cake, but the consistency, I haven't added enough water, but you can already see that it's become a gel, sindio? Yeah. Now I need to add enough water to match the amount of chia seeds I have, because nikiweka mayai hapa, I'm adding a liquid to the mixture, sindio? That liquid at the end of the day, nikiweka unga, it will absorb the unga, sindio? So whatever I'm using kubadilisha, lazima ikuwe enough to also absorb enough unga, sindio? So we have to be careful with substitutions so that you don't end up with something that's weird, right? Another substitution that you can use for eggs is carbonated water, ama soda water. Watu wa Jane, I know you know. I'm sure you've used tonic water, right? Yeah? At some point, mix a drink. Hata wenye wanatufanya wajue, I can see you. I see you. So this is found in the supermarket. The reason why it's carbonated is because it has gas incorporated into it, right? This is carbon dioxide actually, partially. So the reason why baking is a science and not just like who guess is because a lot of reactions huwa zina happen, sindio? For example, one of the things that is a main ingredient in baking is baking powder, sindio? When you add baking powder to a cake, and then you add an acid, tuseme a lemon, vinegar, something, see, wanga inaanza kububble, sindio? That's releasing carbon dioxide, right? So carbonated water, baking powder, the air we incorporated into mixing, all those things come together, then I release air, the air expands, your cake imeshikiliwa na the blue band we used, the mafuta we used, the eggs we used, the proteins, zote zinashikana, they become a what? A cake, sindio? It's not just guesswork. When you are making soya milk, you added a bit of glucose, sindio? So soya milk has more protein than cow milk, but the one thing it doesn't have in the same quantity is something called lactose. You've encountered lactose in biology in high school, sindio? Lactose is a sugar. What happens when you heat sugar? Tuseme umeiwekelea tu kwa pan and then you heat it. What color would it turn? Blackish, brownish, sindio? When you bake a cake, ideally, inafaa kuwa brown, sindio? That is the sugar and also the lactose in the milk burning. Or not burning, but, right? It's getting heated, it's turning brown. It's called caramelization. So, because maybe soy milk inaweza kosa the same amount of lactose that is in cow's milk, the cake might not be as brown, but it will still be very delicious. It will be pale. Itakuwa maybe creamish, itakuwa brown kabisa ile ya kuungua, si ndio? So you take note of that. But in terms of protein, it will provide the same content and the same purpose, right? And that's also why maybe if you use a substitution for sugar, maybe honey, the cake might not be as brown. Cynthia? So far we're okay? We're on the same page? What are the shocking things you've learned so far? One each. So that kila mtu participates. Not shocking per se, but what's the one thing you've learned that you didn't know? You can start here.
You can use honey instead of sugar.
I like your approach, eh?
You can replace eggs.
You can replace eggs, yeah? Just as a help.
Apart from using the milk and the protein.
Like?
Pumpkin.
And carrots, yes?
There are many recipes to make a cake.
There are many recipes there, yeah.
The brown that we see from the cake forms the result of the sugar being heated.
Yes.
Water is not suitable.
Sorry?
Water.
Water is allowable but not necessarily suitable.
The change in the mixture is not from the ingredients, it's from the air.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Was it me? Leo hatutumii mayai. And you?
You can use chia seed mixed with water in this one instead of eggs.
Yes, you can. Na flaxseed pia. You're hiding. Why are you hiding? Niambie. Mtarudi. You have learned the procedure of mixing.
The procedure.
Hata wewe the procedure. Don't say the procedure.
Unaweza tumia vegetable oil ama
Unaweza tumia vegetable oil. No, you can't say same thing. One thing. Bado kuna zenye nakumbuka mmesema hata nini. Hata nikuseme unaweza tumia passion fruit. Lakini nitarudi kwa the next round. Niambia yoyote tu kileta umelani. Nikupatia time ufikirie.
Use one. Instead of using soda, water. And you use water.
No. Haitafanya the same thing. The reason why tunatumia hii soda water ni kwa sababu imewekwa already some air, si ndio? Na reason tunatumia mayai kubake ni kwa sababu mayai pia inasaidia keki kurise, si ndio? So ukisubstitute ingredient, whatever ile umetoa inafanyanga lazima hiyo yenye unaweka ifanye the same thing, si ndio? So kama mayai ilikuwa inasaidia keki kurise, kenye tutabadilisha nayo, lazima pia yenyewe isaidie keki kufanya nini? Ifure, si ndio? So that's why tunatumia specifically carbonated water. Kama si carbonated water, tunaweza tumia chia seeds, tunaweza tumia flax seed. Baking unaweza tumia, but now you mix baking powder, oil na water, like kijiko moja moja. But I'll explain why that is risky in a minute. Ni wewe mwenye unatia red. Unaweza kosa kutumia mayai. Sorry? I give you some time, okay?
You mix the mixture so that we can produce it.
Yes, and you?
And this one is just for the
Na tutaacha hiyo ya for the other person, kila mtu atasema yake. Now, ukitaka keki rise, in as much as you will do the blue band, sugar, unga, nini, one very important ingredient ni baking powder, si ndio? What does baking powder do? Sorry? I have to be able to hear you, he has to be able to hear you. Nafanyanga irise ifure, si ndio? Right? Haya, tuseme we were baking a cake for 3 people, si ndio? Umekoroga. You've done all your measurements, imetosha ya watu watatu. Then you have 3 more coming in, na unataka hiyo keki ikuwe double. What would you do? Ni nini utaongeza? Sorry? Na double zote. Unasema baking powder. Baking powder. Any other guesses? Now, how many of you washaiona keki ukienda kutoa kwa oven pale katikati iko na crater? Imesink. You've ever seen it happen, right? The reason why tulisema tukianza hapa we are creating a foundation for structure, si ndio? So when you create that structure, ina support a specific amount of ingredients, si ndio? That's why we started with measuring, si ndio? So idea ni hata ukiweka foundation ya nyumba, alafu uongeze floors mingi, ikikuwa too heavy inafanya nini? Inaanguka. The same way with cake. So say we add a lot of baking powder in the hope that your cake itakuwa double. You know what happens? It arrives, but with nothing to support it. Hakuna unga, hakuna sukari, hakuna nini. It collapses. It will rise very quickly, by the way. Alafu itaanguka. So if you are doubling what you did, kama ulikuwa umeanza na sukari kikombe moja, you do 2. Kama unga ilikuwa vikombe 2, you do 4. So for every single ingredient, unaenda ukidouble, ukitriple, depending on the amount of cake unahitaji, si ndio? So that's why the method ya kuongeza baking powder, it's an actual egg substitute. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of oil, 1 teaspoon of water. But now you see, because you add baking powder pale pengine, it's a very risky, right? Higher. So this is at the point ya keki mali unafaa kuweka mayai. But today hatuweki mayai, si ndio? Tunafanya substitution. What do you think? On average? There's no wrong answer. 25? You think 25 as well? Any other guess? A bit higher maybe? 50? Mtu anasema 50? 15? Hiyo ni kidogo. 120, those are 2 eggs. So one egg is about 50 to 60 depending na size. Zinakujanga in different sizes. That is also equivalent to a quarter cup. That's why kwa baking unaambiangwa vile unapima, tuseme you don't have like this measuring cups, si ndio? hizi ziko very accurate. Kama mtu anataka maybe kufanya biashara juu si lazima upime keki. Ukiambia customer this is a 1 kg cake, lazima uko umepima, si ndio? So say you're baking at home, si ndio? And you want to measure something. Sema kama ni blue band, this is 250 grams, si ndio? If I use hii blue band ya 250 grams, hii mkebe, I'll measure sugar with the same mkebe. I'll measure milk with the same mkebe. Ikifika kwa unga, I'll measure with the same. The reason for that ni ndio ingredients zako zipimane zitoshe, si ndio? You don't just randomly sipime hivi na macho and then something will go wrong. So, because our egg is supposed to be a 1/4 cup, I'm going to add 2 eggs here. Yeah? 2 eggs. If you would like, you can request a recipe at the end of the class. Uende ukajaribu kwa nyumba. You can use the substitutes that we have, or you can use the usual ingredients that you have available wapi kwa kitchen yako. One of them we said substitutes for eggs ni bananas, si ndio? Another one we said ni pumpkins, si ndio? So those are things unazoenda ujaribu, because it's all about creativity. Wenda ujaribu uone vile itatokea, uonje kama ni mbaya uadjust. Kama ulikuwa umeweka sukari mingi, next time unapunguza. The next ingredient we usually add is liquid and the flour, si ndio? So our liquid of choice today, tutatumia soya and a bit of coconut yogurt for flavor. So the reason we're using coconut, remember tunataka a very moist cake, hatutaki keki imekauka, si ndio? So one of the ways to substitute water, milk, unatumia mala ama unatumia yogurt. Ya kawaida tu yogurt you find in a supermarket, lakini yenye haina flavor, si ndio? Unless maybe you want a strawberry flavored cake, unaweka strawberry yogurt, si ndio? So today we're using coconut yogurt. The reason we're using coconut yogurt, imetengenezwa na mlitengeneza soya yogurt, si ndio? So this is coconut milk, the same procedure without dairy milk at all. Yeah? That's why I was passing it around more on the consistency, because again it's part of plant-based, right? You can do the same with cassava, actually, with arrowroot. Hizo si ni vitu ziko nyumbani. You go, you kausha them, mnasaga, you can use them to make yogurt, uji, si ndio? Did you do plant-based food prep at any point today? No? I think our talk will be needed after, maybe after this or during lunch. So we're going to add just a bit of this. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Unapima, hakuna kupima na macho. So the purpose of this is to add liquid, si ndio? And you take the reason we are adding liquid is, why are we adding liquid to our mixture? Kwa nini tunaweka liquid kwa mixture yetu? Why? Hatutaki keki ikauke, si ndio? If we put flour and just blue band, itakuwa nini? Itakuwa just a very dry, maybe, mixture, si ndio? So you have to add something to bind, ni kama glue ya kushikanisha hizi vitu zote, si ndio? Now the liquids that come into the cake ni the milk and we just said it's sarito. We're adding the milk and the yogurt. And the yogurt and what else? Huh? Mayai. Mayai ni binder na ni liquid, si ndio? So soda water ndio in place of So you're adding liquids to the mixture. So now we're adding the flour. Ukipima the flour, ideally, because in storage unafaa kuweka unga in an airtight container, si ndio? But since you don't have that right now, tunaweka it in our packets. Now ideally, what I know most people do, mnachota hivi, si ndio? But sasa the reason why we don't do that in baking is the first thing we say, you measure. Ukichota hivo, you're compacting the flour, unaifinyilia kwa hiyo kikombe, si ndio? What that means ni si utatoka na unga mingi. Ukiweka unga mingi kwa keki, what happens? Inakuwa dry, si ndio? And you want a cake that tastes nice and is not too dry, si ndio? Usikunyonge. So, unachota unga na kitu ingine. Kaledo, kijiko, then you add to the measuring cup. Or rather, ile kama tulisema ni mkebe ulitumia, you add like that. See, it's level, right? That's what you use. Usichota directly. That's a tip that is very easy to follow but makes a lot of difference. Yeah? You make sure haiko. If I put it like this, it's not labeled, si ndio? So nimeweka unga mingi. So you just come and take off the top maybe with a knife. Again, don't do as I do. Inakuwa level hivi. Unaona iko flat, si ndio? Yeah. Hizi vikombe hukuja in different measurements. So they start from a quarter cup, half a cup to 1 cup. When you are doing chemistry experiments, if you're told to add 1 tablespoon of something, and you don't have a tablespoon, but you have a teaspoon, how many teaspoons do you add? Or rather, to make it simple, how many teaspoons are in 1 tablespoon? How many do you think are there?
3.
Which one do you think is the correct answer? It's actually 3. 3 is the correct answer. 2 ni ile tumezoea kuweka vijiko za chai. 1, 2, and if you add another one, unajambia ni kijiko kubwa, si ndio? But in reality, if you're ever doing any measuring, 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. So that applies in baking as well. How many grams do you think is 1 cup of flour? No wrong answer. Hakuna wrong answer. Guess. Kuna mtu alisema nimpatie time ya kufikiria. Ako wapi? The two, it was him. Guess. Unaona kama kikombe moja ya unga ni hii packet ni kilo moja, si ndio? So unaona kama kikombe moja ni gramu ngapi? 250. Another guess? How many? Yes, you. 250. Any other guess? Last one? 250 pia? 125. Okay. So, the reason why I said we use 1 nini, volume itabaki the same. So, lakini the number of grams ndio itaenda ikichange because different ingredients, zingine ni solid, zingine ni liquid, so zita measure different weights, si ndio? So for example, Sukari kikombe moja ni 200 grams, but unga kikombe moja ni 120 grams. That was the closest answer. Ni 120 grams, yeah? But maji ni about 200, right? 250 ml is 1 cup. So zinaendanga zikibadilika, but if you use the same container, utakuwa able kuweka zile vitu zote zenye unahitaji within the same. Si ndio? Haya, if you wanted to do baking for business, mtu akwambie nipikie keki kilo moja, what do you think you would do? Ungepima aje? Wewe ungepima aje? Ungepima na unga? Make sure ni unga inatoshana aje? Kilo moja. That's one guess. Another one? Another guess? There's no wrong answer. We're learning. Ricotta? Remember, ricotta can be upon the ingredients.
Of flour and butter.
So, ideally, all of your ingredients zenye umemix starting from the beginning ya sukari to mayai. That is why I was asking the weight of the eggs. Ideally, all those ingredients that you've added up, paka unga, paka maziwa, all those things are supposed to add up to 1 kg. Sindio? That is 1,000 grams. So tuseme tumeanza na 250 grams of hii blue band, sindio? 250 grams of sugar, sindio? Tumebakisha 500 grams. Inafaa kwa mayai liquid and the flour, sindio? So haiwezi kwa the 1 kg. Itakuwa kidogo, itakuwa much less, right? But that is a common misconception because we think that 1 kg of flour will actually produce 1 kg of cake. 1 kg of flour ni keki mingi. Sisi wote hatuwezi maliza. Hapa tumetumia 2 cups of flour and this mixture will produce maybe about 750 grams of cake. So it's not very expensive to bake at home because ingredients zina add up, sindio? You add all those things together and then they rise, sindio? And then they come to form your cake, right? So at this point, who would be willing to take the chance to bake comfortably? Ama it's still an uphill task? Bado inakaa scary? Bado inakaa scary? If it looks scary for you, tell me which parts, alafu I can help. Or you can ask a question at this point. Yoyote tu. Even oh, sorry. When ukienda kubake at home, usually you're told unapaka blue band around the tin, sindio? And then flour. Reason ya kufanya hivyo ni ndio keki isishike, sindio? So, an easy way to do that ni hii spray. Because I'm a commercial baker, hii ni rahisi kwangu ndio I don't waste a lot of blue band and unga nikifanya hiyo process. Yeah. And then also because imetengenezwa na vegetable oil, it's plant-based. So that's one of the products to use. Another question?
Have you ever baked using alternative flours?
Yes, cassava and I think rice flour na cornstarch. Consistency ni different kidogo and products ni different kidogo. Pengine inakuanga a bit dry, but the taste is, nitasema I would say interesting. because itaonja kama they are a bit more starchier, so it's a bit sweeter. Ziko na more starch than wheat flour. Yeah, you can actually use arrowroot, sorghum, corn, ile unga ya mahindi ya kawaida, you can use it to bake. Unaongeza maybe nusu unga ngano, nusu unga ya ugali, bado you'll still get a cake. It might taste different kuliko hii cake ingine, but you'll still get a cake. That's why I said baking is about experimenting. So we didn't preheat our oven, but tumeweka keki. I want to take bets for how long you think that will take to bake. Nataka bets 3. Anyone? Stakes ni airtime ya 100. Bets 3. Mwenye atakuwa the correct one ama the closest one anapata airtime ya 100 bob. 45 minutes. 40.
20.
30, 15,
20.
15. 20. Okay. So it's 153. Tutakuja kuangalia. Please remember your answer and have a backup witness. Kwa sababu tutauliza.
Excuse me. Yes, we don't have an oven. How else can you go about it?
Okay. So this one I'll have to show you and practically. So tuseme you don't have an oven and you still want to bake, sindio? So there are 2 methods. Unaweza tumia jiko ama gas. Sawa? But the main principle ni umewasha jiko na umewasha gas, very low heat, the smallest heat, the smallest flame your gas inaweza toa. Sawa? And then unachukua sufuria kubwa. Tuseme this is our sufuria kubwa. Sawa? So hiyo sufuria, once the oven, tuseme ndio hii, once the jiko imewaka ama gas imewaka, unawekelea hiyo sufuria kubwa. Sawa? Then unachukua tumawe 3 tudogo. Sawa? You put them inside. Yeah? So we are doing what we would call preheating our oven. Right? So unachukua kifuniko, unaifunika. Yeah? Unawekelea juu. Then you go back to your mixing. Right? Once you're done, this is our baking tin. Umekuja ukaweka mchanganyiko yako hapa ndani. So just come and cover, place hapo ndani. You make sure it fits inside, that ile kifuniko inaweza funika zote mbili without being, you're not leaving any open space. So utakuja uweke ndani, assuming tuna mawe zetu 3 hapo, unaweka hapo. Kama una mawe unaweka tu vijiko twako, forks and whatever, because you're raising the sufuria yenye iko na keki. Isikuwe kwa direct heat. Yeah? Alafu unakuja unafunika juu. Kama uko na makaa unawekelea juu, ndio ikuwe na moto juu na chini, isiive chini haraka. Kama hauna, you just leave it covered, and after your time itakuwa sawa. Yeah. How do you check kama keki imeiva? You use a knife or a toothpick or a fork, unadunga hapo katikati. Ikitoka kama haina any particles, keki yako imeiva. Ikitoka ikiwa na any particles or part of the mixture, keki haijaiva. Unawacha iendelee kuiva, si ndio? Haya. How long do you think it should take kabla ucheck kama keki imeiva? In 10 minutes? 30? So ideally about 30 ndo unafaa kuangalia, depending on the amount of keki. Depending on the amount of mixture umeweka kwa mkebe. Ukifungwa before 30 minutes, the physics of the oven is that imefungwa iko airtight, hakuna hewa inaingia ndani, si ndio? So ile temperature iko huko ndani ita maintain mpaka keki ive, si ndio? Nikifungwa before that, what happens? The air outside is cold, si ndio? Itaingia ndani. Kama ulikuwa unajenga alafu upepo ikuje ikiwa very strong, what happens kwa mjengo yako? Utabomoka, si ndio? Keki pia, cold air ikiingia ndani, inabomoka, keki inafanya ile kuita tena. Sawa? So you give it some time ku set, si ndio? So you check from 30 minutes onwards. Now, when you're baking, umeona venye tumeweka yetu ilikuwa up to this level, si ndio? Ni kidogo. That means it will take a shorter time baking. Ideally kwa sufuria yako ama kwa mkebe yako ya kubake, una make sure it's around half or 3/4. Usipitishe. The reason why ni because it will expand, si ndio? Itaanza kufura na juu. If it's a lot na haina mali pa kwenda, what happens? Inamwagika the side, so you're losing cake, huko ndani kumeungua and all that. So kama umejaza jaza, sema iko 3/4, you give it more time. Ikiwa half, you give it less time. Ikiwa nene, you give it less time. So you'll be able to monitor depending na the amount of mixture in your mkebe ama in your sufuria, si ndio? Haya, nani amewahi ona keki imeiva hapa juu imepasuka? Imedom, imepasuka. Si ndio? Why do you think? Huh? How do you? Why? Just guess what? Naona kama reason inaweza kuwa nini? Nani anaweza msaidia? Ukiweka sana kwa moto itakauka. Ama unaweza kuwa umeweka moto mingi sana. So what happens? Huku side, see, mkebe ni chuma, sufuria ni chuma, si ndio? This is the point of contact yenye keki iko nayo, si ndio? Ikianza kuiva itaanza kuivia wapi? Si ni huko kando? So itaiva kando na ive juu, si ndio? But inside haijaiva. Remember the structure we created, si ndio? But hot air is expanding. Lazima iende mahali, si ndio? Itafanya nini? Basically it will push through, halafu inapasuka juu. Yeah? So una make sure tu moto yako iko. Ndio maana kwa hata kwa ukibake na jiko unaweka makaa kidogo, you leave the heat to iendelee tu kubake. Kama ni gas unatumia moto kidogo, unaacha usiharakishe, si kama chapo. Chapo unajua unaweka moto ndio iende ikienda, si ndio? Any other questions? Any questions? Kila mtu amelearn? So if I ask any question, before I ask questions, kuna swali? Just in case. So sasa mko confident mtu anaweza bake? Na uko confident unaweza bake keki bila mayai? What another thing I meant to show you, hii ni ya kutengeneza ice, inapatikana tu kwa supermarket, haina maziwa pia. So we'll use this later tukikuja ku decorate keki yetu ikishaiva, si ndio? So tunangojea bets ziingiane, si ndio? Okay, what has your biggest takeaway been today? Na kila mtu atasema yake na kuna kusema kama yeye mwingine. In both classes it's okay. What is the thing that you now know that you didn't know before? I'll make it easier for you. If you have a question, you can ask in the same round. Badala ya kusema. Last time we started here. Okay, go. Unaweka mawe tu. Kitambo tulikuwa tunaweka mchanga, but juu mchanga ushika moto sana, inatobanga sufuria. So it's easier kuweka hizo mawe tatu, and because moto ni kidogo, ina sustain huko ndani, so sufuria iko sawa. Bora wewe usiishike because now wewe utachomeka.
tunaweza fungulia nini oven very nini. Before weka newspaper ndani.
Unafaa uifungulie ndio iko inafikisha hiyo temperature inafaa. An easy way ya kuvuma unga. Yeah. And the organs. Yes. Nini? Nini particular? Soda water, yeah. Yeah, come. Unaweza tumia mawe tatu kutengeneza oven. Kumeasure hiyo flour. Kumeasure, umelearn nini about kumeasure flour? Utachota na kikombe, utachota na kitu ingine uweke kwa kikombe, si ndio? Unaweza tumia maziwa yenye sio ya ng'ombe ama ya mbuzi, si ndio? Next. I have 30 seconds to read it. Kwa nini ina change rangi? Very nice. Ukikosa kuangalia, ukiangalia before itakuwa crater. Okay. Umependa from the beginning to the end, so you can't wait to test our experiment. Okay. How many is it?
56.
Hello, my name is McKenna and I'm a student. I'm also an advocate for healthy eating and healthy living through a plant-based diet. And the reason why I champion so hard for healthy eating and a plant-based diet is because I personally am on a plant-based diet due to health reasons. And being in this boot camp showed me several alternatives that I can easily make at home to be able to get all the nutrients that I need, especially protein through plants, that will enable me to live a healthier and a happier and a wealthier life as an individual. So I'm really grateful for the organizers for putting this together. This has really helped for those who might be interested in being on a plant-based diet, and for those of us who are already on a plant-based diet, I've learned how to make different kinds of plant-based meals, and especially milk, and also how to cook easy to prepare meals that are whole, that are unprocessed, that are highly nutritious and beneficial to our bodies. So I really look forward to the next training, and I would also like to invite all of you to join in and come in and see what it is that you can incorporate into your everyday diet so that you can be able to live a healthier life. Thank you.
My name is Manas Ndegwa, a chef by profession at the Nyeri Golf Club, and here I was invited to come and learn about plant-based recipes and foods, and thank you to the founders, the Mount Kenya Hub, and I'm ready to go and practice it in the industry. When I go back, I will talk with the head chef and I will ask him to enable the menu to have the plant-based foods. And also thank you to the Animal Charity Evaluators for organizing this event, and I'm grateful and thank you.
Hi, my name is Veronica Ombogo, a high school teacher. I'm so excited to be here today. I thank the organizers for giving us such a wonderful opportunity to be here because I've learned a lot. I'm going to, with the knowledge that I've been imparted today, I'm going to influence my school so that they can always make tasty, nutritious food. With the knowledge that I've gotten today, I've also learned that with the readily available ingredients, one can make very sweet and very nutritious food. Thank you so much.
My name is Kevin Masharia. I'm here as been come to learn about cooking, and I thank for the evaluators for giving this chance to us. We thank them and we are very grateful for them. Thank you.
My name is John Bosco. I'm the Chief Evangelist Officer for Quality Life World Borders. We are extremely grateful for the facilitation made by Animal Charity Evaluators for making this program successful. We have made trainings, hands-on training, and on a variety of cohorts of personnel from high school to tertiary schools, to school cooks, to students, and we have seen a real change in that direction. We have made awareness on factory farming risks. We have also made trainings that are meant to shift people from animal-based products to plant-based products, and we are grateful for that. Thank you very much.
My name is Javier Abogo. Professionally, I'm a software engineer. I am the founder of Mount Kenya Hub, which is an innovation hub located in Kenya in 2 different counties, and that is in Kiambu County and Nyeri County. I want to thank Quality Life Without Borders and the Animal Charity for bringing close and down here at the grassroots level the plant-based program, and that we are able to train a lot of schools, students, and also the community in the alternative source of food in terms of the plant-based food. And I'm very happy that at least I'm able to learn some different kind of recipes that I can prepare at home. And apart from that, things that I am able to use as an alternative source of income. For me, I'm a beneficiary of this program directly because I have an allergy of eating eggs. So, which means that I wasn't able to eat cakes, biscuits and such, but through this program we were able to prepare plant-based cake and plant-based biscuits, and at least when I ate I do not have any side effects, so which means that at least from now through the plant-based program I'm able to start enjoying things that I have been missing the rest of the previous life. So, and I want to thank each and everyone who came here, and as you continue preparing for the next chapter, we do ask you to continue implementing the recipes that you learned and also continue exploring, and you're always welcome to come to Mount Kenya Hub anytime. Thank you.